How you doing? Hey, look, I know it's been a while. Been extremely busy. Uh, I wanted to make a video today about something I had talked about in some posts. I want to try to clarify and expound on that, and it's relevant for our time. We're seeing a lot of mob violence, and I have people ask me in the classes, what can we do if we find ourselves in a situation where maybe our car has been halted and find myself being dragged out on the street? Well, the obvious answer is you have to defend yourself. Okay, you have to defend those who you love, who are part of your responsibility. There are people who have these mobs coming into their neighborhood, set on violence, sometimes setting things on fire, flipping things over. While it's not okay for them to damage property, sometimes it seems like the law pays no attention to what they're doing. You should know setting a house on fire or setting your neighbor's house on fire is an act of violence, and it is the use of deadly force. They're using fire, and it could definitely kill you. But one of the things that I mentioned was disparity of force, the doctrine of disparity of force. And that's when, even though a mob might not be armed per se, just the fact that there are many of them would justify you in using deadly force to protect yourself or others, because obviously serious bodily injury could be something as simple as major broken bones, knocking someone unconscious. Of course, if you knock somebody unconscious, they can't defend themselves. Even an unarmed person on a defenseless person could kill them very quickly. So sometimes we forget that we have tools at our disposal when faced with a mob, and there's a reason why back in the day these were called riot shotguns or riot guns. The simple reason why is they are very effective in the use against a mob. Sometimes, many times, just their presence will quell the violent tendencies of the mob, because a shotgun is pretty indiscriminate. I told you before, we talked about when I talked about shotguns in the shotgun ammo video, which shotgun ammo is best. We also talked about it in the Killing Cliches video. Massad Ayoob made the case that a shotgun is artillery, especially when we're talking about home defense. It generally is best used from a fixed location against a known enemy location. In the case of the mob, whether it be you find yourself having to protect your business or your home, or you find yourself caught out when civil civil disobedience starts. A shotgun is a very useful tool, and while you are justified in using deadly force against a mob, you need to realize one-on-one or two-on-one or maybe even three-on-one might not justify the use of a shotgun. Remember, we never use a lethal force instrument for less than lethal force. So it is very important that you realize while 10 people coming after you is definitely presents a danger. 2 people coming after you, while it does present a danger, you may not be justified in using deadly force. Okay? So I want you to remember, I'm going to show you a technique here that a lot of people have forgotten. And this is one of the things when I was a correctional officer at Fort Pillow. It's one of the methods that we were taught to deploy a shotgun in the instance of a mob or a riot. And it's basically called skipping your shot. You can aim, especially if you're on a hard surface and multiple people are coming at you. If you're on a hard surface like a street, a parking lot, even hard-packed dirt. This works on hard-packed dirt. It works on gravel roads. Obviously, it works on asphalt, concrete. You aim in front of the threat. Now, you need to realize, obviously, if you're aiming at a very downward angle, it will make the shot disperse more, but it's going to take a lot of energy from that shot. So extreme downward angles are probably to be avoided. You want maybe at least 10, 12, 20, 30 feet between you and the threat. This works. I want you to practice this method, and when I show you this at the end of the video, I want you to do like me. I want you to practice this method. I want you to see, experiment with shot sizes. I think that double-aught buck probably is less effective than smaller shot. Probably number 4 buck and down in size. Number 4 buck is I believe, was it a 24 caliber pellet? The ones I use in this demonstration was number 2 shot. Now, not number 2 buck, but number 2 shot. It's .155. It's a little smaller than BB. Obviously, BB would work good. Steel shot is also pretty effective in using this if you have a regular duck hunting rounds. Steel shot's pretty effective skipping shot off of a hard surface. And you say, well, Jamie, why would you skip the shot instead of aiming directly into the mob? Well, here's the thing. When that shot comes off that ground, especially on concrete and pavement, it picks up projectiles to take with it. It also spreads the shot out. It also changes the angle of the shot. When that shot hits the ground, remember, a ricochet, even when you're talking about a bullet, a ricochet tends to follow a shallower path after it strikes a hard surface than it did coming to that hard surface. So what you're talking about is you're back 10, 15 feet, like I am in this video. You shoot toward a hard surface. Most of your shot is going to be from ground level to maybe 5 inches off the ground. Now, of course, as it leaves the hard surface, it raises a little bit, but not nearly as sharp as angle as it came in. So that's a good thing. We want to disperse that shot. And you're going to say, well, doesn't that take a lot of energy? out of the shot. It does. But you know that a shotgun has plenty of energy to spare. And some of you might be thinking, well, pretty much you're shooting to wound. And you've heard me say in my classes, we never shoot to wound. We never shoot to kill. We shoot to stop the threat, whatever that threat is, to either end the violent encounter because we've incapacitated them, they've had enough, or we have an opportunity to escape. So our intent is never to kill. Our intent is never to wound. You never use a lethal force instrument for less than lethal force. I'm not backing away from that. But you need to understand, in this situation, you are going to have the right to use lethal force. But your intent is going to be to stop the action. So if you shoot that hard surface in front of that mob, you're going to spread the shot. You're going to hit them somewhere between the toe nail and the kneecap. Okay? It's going to spread it out so that you're liable to strike 3, sometimes 4 people in a mob. Listen, when people start falling in the mob and a shotgun's going off in front of them, listen, they're going to find somewhere else suddenly that they need to be. Okay? Not chasing you. And there is the added benefit that if one pulls a weapon or one is not slowing down, you don't have to skip your shot. You can aim directly at him, and we all know what happens in that case. So, shot size, I'd say anything from number 2 shot through BB, T-shot, number 1 shot. I probably wouldn't go any bigger than number 4 buck to use this trick, but look, it's effective, and you'll see in my demonstration. If you get your angle, well, you don't even have to get the angle right. Even a bad angle will send shot where you need it. And now you need to understand that on this demonstration, obviously nobody wanted me to shoot their driveway and not divots out of their driveway. And I didn't want to do it on a public street because I generally like not being arrested. So I used a couple of thin steel plates just laid on the ground. And while steel plates probably deformed the shot more than pavement or concrete would, I still got the effect I wanted. And you'll see from the videos, there's a couple different shots, a couple different angles, but generally, when I did this, I at least aiming between 2 targets and striking the steel, I at least hit those 2 targets, and all the shot was, like I say, from toenail high to about mid-calf height, and that will slow somebody down, and that's what you want. You want an opportunity to leave, okay? So just remember, a crowd equals a weapon. If there is a crowd, you can justify your use of deadly force simply because it's a crowd, let alone if they have sticks, baseball bats, Molotov cocktails. Another thing you can do with a shotgun that would be very difficult to do with a rifle, if somebody throws a Molotov cocktail, how awesome would it be to shoot it in midair, over the mob's head? I think that would be very fitting. And probably discourage that behavior in the future. So, it's a terrible thing to have to come on here and talk about this, but y'all, our law enforcement's hands are tied in a lot of these situations. And it's going to be up to you, and it really always was. It's up to you to defend those people you love. Just that simple. Look, I know it's been a while. I appreciate you for coming, checking in today. I realize my hair is messed up, but it's very windy outside. I'll put a clip in to show you how windy. I appreciate y'all for coming and for checking in whenever you see a new video up. I would say I'm going to be more regular at putting these out, but to tell you the truth, where our country is right now and the demand I'm having for my classes, what time I am not working a day job and I am not teaching classes, my time is pretty precious to me. I hope that you would come and do some training with me. And I know ammunition's hard to get. Our advanced tactical pistol class and our advanced concealed carry class has become almost non-existent because of the difficulty of finding ammo, or when you do find it, being able to afford 350 rounds to take an advanced tactical pistol class. But listen, training pays dividends. So just keep that in mind and understand that we're still here. We're doing the same thing we've always done. We will continue to do that regardless of the state of the nation. And remember, a shotgun can be a very versatile tool. You'll notice that in the side saddle here, I have slugs. That's because this can be, in an instant, this can be a poor man's elephant gun. So, shotgun is a very, very useful tool. If you'll take the time and expend the ammunition and experiment to see what all this thing can do, you'll be pretty amazed. And thanks for tuning in. Watch the videos. I may do some voiceover in the videos, but I just want you to see how you can use a shotgun to skip shot. And thanks for joining in.